MODOK? Really? That's the best we could do in 2023?
It's time for the brews, baby!
If you're looking for something fun, pretty, and kid-friendly, here's your movie. If you're looking for something with depth, character, story, this kind of felt like Star Wars meets Marvel. All right, another beer, let's get into this. First act was actually very well done. See most of the Marvel movies, you get this very specific, similar setup. Scott Lang's walking around, doing his little montage thing and showing you how he's just this funny, awkward superhero that gets a lot of credit for just getting bigger and smaller. And then the girl that played Cassie, I really felt like I just wasn't gonna like her in this role. I was it was pleasant to me. I mean, the opening scene when she got introduced, I was like, okay, I'm buying this. Then we kind of quickly get into a moment where the family reemerges, gets back together, and all of a sudden they're in the quantum realm. The action, the pacing of this act was really good. And then they release the Hunter. Oh yeah, who the is this guy? Is he gonna kill everybody? Is he gonna come out, destroy? Is he gonna just be a badass machine because they say he's organic and mechanical? And I'm like, yes. And then I see a giant head with a little butt floating. And I'm like, well, that just went weird really fast. Then we started getting into Act 2, and this is where you're really starting to get to know the main villain, Kang. What does he do? Oh, apparently he travels time. Time doesn't exist. There's a multi-universe. Are you getting confused? I am too. I have 2 beers in me. The middle section of this movie just kind of plateaus really, really fast because good old Michelle Pfeiffer apparently told no one what was happening in this world for 30 years. We don't get much depth in the story. Want so much more of where this world came from, who are these people, how did he develop, but I never felt like I actually got the amount I needed. All of a sudden we're into Act 3. I mean, it was just too long. It just felt like an hour of fighting that I did not need. We get to this big sequence at the end. Now this is supposed to be the climax. This is the big part of the movie. How do we defeat Kang? When the main fight comes up, you got Scott Lang, they got Kang. They're gonna go at it. And Kang just kind of goes down really easy in my opinion. I mean, this is a guy that you're supposed to feel like you're definitely gonna die with. But at no point in this movie did I feel like anybody in this movie was going to die. How are they gonna resolve this? What does Kang want? Where are we going? Here comes Cassie, here comes Scott. They meet Kang. Now they know the whole plan because Michelle Pfeiffer, again, is sitting over here having dinner with Bill Murray and didn't tell them anything. But I felt like this is one of the best parts of the movie because it's Bill Murray being Bill Murray. Now we're getting to the climax. Oh, I forgot to tell you, there's a steroid. She's running this tribe that apparently was beat up by King and Conquer. I know, it seems like I left her out, but really, you'll forget about her after about 3 minutes in the movie. It's just crazy to me that the writers, up until this point, still haven't grabbed the magnitude of who this character is. Mind you, Kang is the new Thanos. Badass, right? Conqueror of worlds, times, universe, and all these multi-things that I don't even understand. Problem I have with this is you have so much going on with such little story happening and the pacing just totally lost itself. The moment these guys shrunk,
so did the story.
But it's pretty, so we'll go with it. And there's also Bill Murray. Now we get into Act 3, the big epic fight that every single movie has nowadays. Now again, I'm not gonna dog it. I love some murdering, okay? I love some murdering. But we have to have a reason why we're murdering, right? He's got Cassie, he's got the Ball of Destiny or whatever the fuck it is. The Wasp, which again is in the movie for like 5 minutes, so I don't know why we say the Wasp. And Michael Douglas. And the guy that didn't have any holes all of a sudden had holes and turned into Kirby. You know what happens? Obviously there's a giant battle. It comes to a peak. And our main villain's gonna show himself and how powerful he is. And the very first thing he does is act all emo and shoot a beam. Got the warriors from both sides. Steroid from the clan over here. Jonathan Majors as the badass. And we have Michael Douglas. And Michael Douglas. Again, Michelle Pfeiffer's there, but she's pretty much useless the whole damn time. So we have the big epic fight, and I'm not gonna get too into it because really all it is felt like 3 hours of pretty colors and a guy that didn't have holes, but then he got holes. So we get through the fight and everything looks like the heroes are gonna win. And then big bad Kang comes down and he's floating like Magneto. Again, a little too much like Magneto. And he gets down there and he starts screaming like he's a 15-year-old boy that's been on TikTok way too long. And you're like, oh, I feel like the tides are turning. But no, you don't, because at no point in this movie do you actually feel like Kang is the badass that he's supposed to be. And Michael Douglas. And eventually, guess what happens? The bad guy dies, or melts, or goes into another type. Something happens that I don't really understand. But the good news is the heroes get home, everybody's having a great time, And then all of a sudden, Paul Rudd has a little guilty thought going, did we kill him? And then he eats a disgusting cake from Baskin Robbins. That's the end. Overall, I felt Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, was an okay movie. I mean, if you're going to see pretty lights, maybe a movie mixed between Star Wars and Marvel, this is your jam. If you have kids and you just want to get out and maybe sleep in the theater while they actually leave you alone for once, this is kind of your movie. But if you're that deep Marvel fan that reads every comic book, I think you might be disappointed. I mean, hey, I'm only in the middle, and the best thing for this was Bill Murray for me. And Michael Douglas. That's why I gave Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania, 2 out of 5 Dans. And if you enjoyed today's craziness, make sure to pound that like button, ring that bell. Otherwise, no brews for you! If you have any brewing ideas or requests, make sure to comment down below and let Dan know. Until next time, I've been Dan. You've been awesome. PROST! And Michael Douglas.